Good morning, this is Paul Hickey, co-founder and managing director of the GrassGreener Group. Now in just a few moments I'm going to introduce you to Ian Chalmers, the managing director of the Hulse Group, which is the company behind the McQuaig psychometric system. Now if you're not already familiar with what is arguably the world's leading behavioural testing programme, then this is going to absolutely blow you away. Now without wanting to give too much away, what you're going to see in this video is a system that proves the reason that most new employees leave their job during the first 12 months of employment is because something that the majority of recruiters have no way of measuring. I promise you'll never look at recruitment the same way after you've watched this video. Before I invite Ian to begin his presentation, I want to take just a few minutes to share with you why GrassGreener Group is working with McQuaig, how it revolutionised the way in which we operate as a recruitment business, and the end result, which saw us scoop the 2011 award for the best search and selection firm in the UK. So when I helped to co-found the GrassGreener Group, one thing that I wanted to make absolutely certain was that we would do everything better than any other recruitment company, not only in the UK, but on a global basis. And that's still our mission today. So at that stage, the question I was continuously asking myself is, what can we do differently that will attract the attention and add value to the service that we provide to our clients? The obvious way to do this is to consider why companies actually hire recruitment firms in the first place. Now, this is usually for a couple of fundamental reasons. Number one, they don't have the time to do it themselves. And number two, they don't actually know how to do it themselves. The trouble with focusing on these elements is that you only end up doing what everybody else does, putting us in the same position as every other agency, using the same tried, boring cliches to try and sell ourselves to our prospective clients. It's simply not enough. So the next question I asked, from another angle, was what do businesses hate the most about hiring recruitment agencies? And when I put this question to people, the answer came back almost every time. It was the fees. Clients hate the cost of hiring recruitment agencies. It's expensive. And because you don't usually get to see all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, it never really looks like you're getting value for money. Does that mean that we should be trying to outdo everyone on price and offer the lowest rates? Absolutely not. There are plenty of recruitment agencies out there who are already locked in a price war, and we have no intention of joining them. Competing on price above all else means that eventually you can't afford to do a thorough job, and it's the client that feels the pain at the end when we've delivered unsuitable candidates that leave them after just a few months or even a few weeks on some occasions. And in that realisation comes the answer. Businesses say that what they hate the most about hiring recruitment agencies is the cost, but what they should be saying is that they hate being delivered an unsuitable candidate whom they have to replace in the near future. The expense of hiring the wrong person that you eventually have to replace is far greater than the cost of even the most expensive recruitment firm. You have to factor in reduced productivity while the position lays vacant, disgruntled employees who have to pick up the slack, angry customers who get a poor service because disruption to your business. And that's before you take into account the cost of having to restart the hiring process all over again. So that became the focus of our business. Not how to be the fastest, not how to be the flashiest, and not even how to be the cheapest, but how to find candidates for our clients that fit so perfectly that they're still in the job after a minimum of 12 months. Our goal, quite simply, was to achieve a 100% retention rate for the candidates which we placed for a full 12 months. Did we succeed? No, but we're getting very close. In fact, we're exactly 96% of the way there. In other words, so far 96% of all the candidates that we place are still in place after a full year. The question you will reasonably want to ask is, how does this compare to the rest of the recruitment industry? Well, that's a difficult question to answer because most recruitment agencies won't tell you what their 12-month retention rate is. Is this because they don't care enough about the long-term results of the work to measure this information? Or is it because if they did realise their annual numbers, the results wouldn't be, shall we say, particularly impressive? The reason why other recruitment firms don't want to announce this information, I'll leave for you to decide. But based purely on anecdotal evidence, we estimate the industry average to be somewhere between 50 and 60%. Are we perfect? No, but at 96%, I believe we're definitely leading the pack. And in that 96% figure, we found our purpose. We found something that we can offer to our clients that's consistent, genuine, and obviously adds value. This is what sets us apart from other recruitment agencies. Now, this is what enabled us to win the 2011 award, which I alluded to earlier, for the best search and selection firm in the UK. So this leads us nicely to my next question. how do we do it? How do we achieve a 96% employee retention rate? Well, there are several methods that we employ that could fill several different videos, but chief among them is that we make McQuaig psychometric testing mandatory for every recruitment campaign that we undertake. And really, that's why we're here today, to demonstrate to you what McQuaig testing is, why the information it gathers is so important, and why it contributes so greatly to achieving a high rate of employee retention. And who better to introduce you to McQuaig testing than Ian Chalmers, the Managing Director of the company behind it, the Halls Group. Ian, a very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, and thank you very much for your time and introduction. Congratulations again on your award from last year. It's one of the reasons why we like working with GrassGreener. You're constantly looking to innovate in the marketplace, and our relationship is a demonstration of that. So thank you again. So I thought I'd just talk through a few quick slides here, just to give you a flavor of the McQuaig psychometric system and some of the reasons why GrassGreener have been so successful using the system. I guess, you know, psychometric testing, it's more than just personality testing. It's a complete profiling system. And you know, organizations that we've worked with over the past are really able to embed it into their people strategy, because it helps to benchmark, recruit, develop, and retain. You were talking about benchmarking a second ago, and that's a critical part of any people strategy. The CIPD and a host of other organizations, including Hay Group, have put together some costs over the years of how much employee turnover costs businesses. CIPD did a survey where they looked at it across the board, from shop floor right the way to senior executives. And they said it was costing them about 10, 11, 12,000 pounds every time someone left. The Hay Group went a lot further and said it cost anywhere between 12 to 18 months' salary every time someone left. So you can see the cost, and you can see why it's so imperative to get people decisions right. And as we've talked about in the past, it's great that GrassGreener see this as such an imperative, and that's why you don't pass on any costs to your clients. It's included in your service offering, which is fantastic. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit more about what we actually look at when we look at an individual. So over the last 30 years, we've done a lot of research into this in combination with the McQuaig Institute and their occupational psychologists. And what we've actually found is that there are 3 levels of assessments when you look at an individual at either a recruitment stage or promotion stage, or just any kind of manager trying to get a handle on their team. So the first level is the appear to, what we call the appear to. So how someone looks, what your first impression of someone is. And you'll see just above each one of these levels its impact on performance. Right at the bottom there is level 1. And when we talk about appearance, we talk about first impressions. The latest research for first impressions says that we make up that first impression within 1.6 seconds. You know, people think that it takes a lot longer, but actually we use all of our mental models, all of our experience, and make a judgment extremely quickly. And so when we're in a recruitment situation, that's actually very dangerous. It's dangerous for the candidate, it's dangerous for the organization, because we put so much stock on what someone looks like, how they come across, their manners, and how expressive they are. You know, we can often see if someone's wearing white socks with a dark suit, or has a bit of a soft handshake, or all of these types of things actually make up that impression. Level 2 is what we call the can-do. So that's showing what someone has done in the past. So that's showing all of their skills, experience, their educational level, all of those things that we usually find on a CV. But really a CV is just you know, it's an edited highlight of someone's career to date. It doesn't really give you any further information about what they can do. So we talk about level 2 in this instance. the most important thing is the level 3 attributes. And these are all the intangible, all the hidden areas that you can't get from a basic interview, you can't get from a CV. So we talk about ability, temperament, persistence, ability, all of these different areas. And this is what we measure with the McQuaig psychometric system. And again, this is why we like working with GrassGreener so much, because I know you put a huge amount of stock in the level 3 area as well. And over our experience, what we've found is that organizations will hire on level 1 and level 2, and they'll fire on level 3. So if you can really hone in on those level 3 attributes, then you get the type of retention rates, I think you were saying 96% earlier, you get the retention rates like that. And every time you increase the retention rates by 1%, you are saving thousands and thousands of pounds. So this is really, really critical. Okay, so thought I'd show you just a few things that you get with by using McQuaig. And the first one is really better people decisions. It's really critical that you get as many data points as possible when you are making that decision about an individual. And by benchmarking and recruiting using a psychometric tool like McQuaig, you generate better people decisions. We're also a little bit different in that we don't use any kind of credit or token system where if you want a leadership profile and you want a team approach or you want a management overview, then you have to keep coming back and asking for it and potentially paying for it. Although in your case, I know that's all included. We include all of those sections about an individual so that the organization recruiting can make a better and more informed decision. And always more value. You know, you're talking about value, you're talking about working with clients, and we're the same. It's important that an organization who is using either GrassGreener services or the McQuaig psychometric system can make sure and be confident that they can phone and speak to someone at any time. So there's never any extra charges or anything for that. It's a question we're asked a lot of the time. Is what makes it different? You know, why is it easier with McQuaig than other tools? And I think there's really one standout point here, and that is that the reports that are generated by McQuaig are written for line managers. They're simple to understand. They're simple to use. They're not written for psychologists, and they don't turn people off. So that has always been the focus of McQuaig, to ultimately help the end user, which is the line manager. And the last thing is there is the step-by-step interview guide. Also, what we found over the years is that organizations feel that their interviewing managers don't tend to have as much skill in this area as they do in some of their other management duties. And so we developed a job fit interview guide that actually steps someone through a structured interview and gives them a lot of questions really to dig deep into the candidates that they have in front of them. So what happens when you start to use McQuaig? Well, you go from the decisions being made based on gut feel through to putting the science behind that. And gut feel is very important, but it shouldn't be 100% of the decision. So a psychometric tool like the McQuaig psychometric system helps you portion a part of your decision making based on science. Gut feel does take a part of it, the CV takes a part of it, the ability takes a part of it. All of those different areas helps you make better decisions. Also, you get better performing teams because you have more information about an individual, more information about how to onboard them quicker, how to get to grips with what's going to make them perform in the best way that is natural to them. So how do you as a manager understand how to manage this person better? And of course, once you've done all of that, you reduce the staff turnover, which saves you costs. So the last thing here is just a few results that I thought I'd share with you. The first is from the telecoms industry, and this was an interesting one. We were working with an organization who was selling mobile devices in their retail stores. And what we found was that certain types of profiles, so when we talk about psychometric profiles, outsold others by £45,000. That's significant in a retail environment like that. The second result that I wanted to share with you was in the hospitality industry. And this one is significant because in the hospitality industry, just like the call centers, high turnover is a given. People just take it as just one of those things that happens in this industry. And we achieved nearly a 50% reduction in staff turnover. And the third one was in the finance industry. It was an over 200% improvement in sales and service. And this one, again, is interesting because it's not just based on sales. It's not just based on performance. We actually look at service as well. And I was talking to an organization the other day, and we were talking about what good looks like. And we felt that you can't just measure good based on sales targets being met or management KPIs. Actually, every organization is very different in what works for them. And so this organization was very clear that it has to be sales, it has to be service, and we're going to measure both of those things. So we had some great results in those three industries and others, but those are a few that I thought I'd share with you today. So that's really all I wanted to go through. I just wanted to talk about our relationship with GrassGreener. I wanted to talk about really what we look for when we look at assessing individuals with our 3 levels of assessment, and also some of the things you get with McQuaig and the results that we've had in the past. So thanks for the opportunity to talk through that.
Ian, thank you for that superb demonstration. I'm sure you can all cite many more examples of businesses that have used and benefited from the McQuaig behavioural testing in the past. Speaking for GrassGreener Group, I can only confirm that the feedback we've received from our clients has been excellent. During the last couple of years, we've seen a significant increase in the quality of our service. We've attracted more clients as a result, received more repeat business opportunities, and this is primarily because our overall proposition is superior. One of the really pleasing knock-on effects of all of this is that whereas before we spent 80% of our time generating new business and only 20% of our time delivering our service to our clients, we've seen that turned almost completely in reverse. We now spend 20% of our time generating new business and as much as 80% of our time concentrating on delivering a high-quality, effective recruitment campaign for our clients. We're really able to focus on adding value to our work. It's better for us, better for our clients, and we've barely even touched on this, but it's also better for the candidates who have a greatly increased chance of ending up in the role that's right for them, with a company that they feel comfortable with and happy working for.
I think that's a good point, because we've talked about organizations quite a bit here, but actually if you look at the real purpose of psychometric testing, it's to match someone's natural ability to the behaviors that are required for the role. And if you can do that, then you get someone who is happier at work and is going to stay with you longer. So ultimately, it is in the candidate's best interest that we put as much effort as possible to matching their strengths and their qualities to the role that's been recruited for.
I absolutely agree. The whole process has become more thorough and benefits all parties involved. So really, I'd like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude for the opportunity to work with the Hulse Group and McQuaig. The benefits for us are not just financial, but also the satisfaction of being able to deliver a first-class service for our clients. Ian, thanks very much for taking the time to talk with us this morning. It's appreciated.
Thank you very much, and likewise, we really enjoy working with you and GrassGreener, and looking forward to the years ahead.
And finally, thank you for everybody who's taken the time to watch this video. For further information on the McQuay psychometric system, the web address is on screen now, or for more information on how GrassGreener Group can help you with your next recruitment campaign, please visit us at grassgreener.co.uk, or you can call me direct on 01132 30 5555. Thanks again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye bye.